Welcome to aminacademy.com. In the topic Rise of Ottoman Empire, let us discuss about Anatolia in the 12th and 13th centuries. In the transitional stage from Byzantine to Turkish hegemony, Anatolia combined the elements of high Islamic civilization of the Great Caliphates with the radically different hybrid culture peculiar to border provinces or marches. The authority of the Sultan was represented by an emir or commander of the frontier province, who was both an administrative and a military commander and often was a member of the leading families of Konya. The March provinces were mixed ethnically and religiously. Here were not only nomads but also city dwellers of many races and religions driven from the turmoil in the east, men and women who came in search of new lives on the frontiers of Islam. While nomadic warriors lived on the borderlands, the towns in the area were influenced by both Byzantine and high Islamic civilization because cultural centers and served as capitals for leaders who tried to establish some kind of stable control over the tribes. Thus, within the marches were developed the same sort of conflict between high Islamic settled civilization and anarchical nomadic society that was formed in the older lands of Islam. The Turkish Anatolia was not, however, merely Byzantium with an Islamic and Turkish veneer. The basic institution of government and society under the Seljuks of Rome were those developed in the old Islamic caliphates as revitalized and transmitted by the Great Seljuks. Next, the Turkmans principalities. Many of the Turkman beys and their followers not only fought the infidel but also mixed into the struggles then endemic within the Seljuk Empire of Rome, sometimes using a booty of conquest to build their own independent principalities as the Seljuks and then Mongols weakened. One of the earliest of the Turkmen leaders in western Anatolia was Mentis Bey, a Ghazi leader in the southeastern coastal marches who raided the Byzantine coasts. Next one, the Byzantine resistance. While Turkmen threat increased, the Byzantine Empire weakened by long-standing internal problems was unable to resist. There were endemic struggles for power between the bureaucrats and the landed gentry, which dominated the army, and between the latter and the free peasants. There were economic difficulties involving the debasement of the coinage, overtaxation, and wasteful spending by the rulers and governors. The Byzantine collapsed at the Battle of Manzikert in 1071 and the temporary Turkmen occupation of most Anatolia in the following decade were early symptoms of decline. Though the Byzantines were able to push the Turkmens back from western Anatolia, the Latin control of Constantinople and the Byzantine efforts to regain their capital disrupted their defense against the Turkmens. With the restoration of Byzantine rule over Constantinople, imperial interest in Anatolia waned, making it difficult for the Byzantine feudal holders to coordinate their resistance against the advancing Turkmens. Now we'll do that some small notes about Anatolia in 12th and 13th century further. Anatolia in the 12th and 13th century was a crossroad of many peoples and civilization and was subject to a number of changes including Byzantine Empire. The Empire of Nicaea, a Byzantine successor state, was centered in the Aegean region and Bithynia. However, the empire's Anatolian possessions were neglected after the reconquest of Constantinople in 1261. The Byzantines lost most of their Anatolian territory by 1300. Seljuk Sultanate of Rome. The Seljuks lost power after the Mongols defeated them in the Battle of Kossidag in 1243. The Seljuks became vassals of the Mongols and ruled Anatolia through military governors. The Mongols swept through Anatolia in 1255 and remained until 1335. Ilkhanate. The Ilkhanate was founded by Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, in the southwestern part of the Mongol Empire. Turkmen principalities. The Mongol allowed the Turkmen to move to western Anatolia, where they founded principalities or beyliks. The most powerful beyliks were the Karamanids and the Jeremianids in the central area. Ottoman dynasty. The Ottoman beylik was a small state in the northwest of Anatolia that period, around Sogat. Over the next 200 years, it evolved into the Ottoman Empire, expanding throughout Anatolia and the Balkans. Architecture. In southeastern Anatolia, the Artuqid dynasties influenced the architecture with Syrian mosques. The Great Mosque of Diyarbakir was rebuilt in the late 11th and 12th centuries under the Great Seljuks. The Turkmen principalities. The Turkmen principalities or beyliks were small principalities in Anatolia that were governed by a base in the late 11th and 13th century. Some example of Turkmen principalities include, these are small governments, tiny governments. These are Beylik or Karasi, ruled from 1296 to 1357 within its capital of Balıkesir, later Bergama and Kanakkale. Beylik or Ledik, ruled from 1262 to 1391 with its capital Denizli. Beylik of Mentees, ruled from 1261 to 1424 with its capital in Milas. Beylik of Kanik, a group of small Turkmen principalities in northern Anatolia during the 14th and 15th centuries. The Ottoman Empire, founded by Turkmen tribal leader Osman I, was another state of Turkmen origin. The empire lasted from around 1299 to 1922. Next, the Byzantine resistance. How did the Byzantine lose Anatolia? The result of the arrival of the Seljuks and their defeat of the Byzantine forces under the Emperor Romanus IV Diogenes at the Battle of Manzikert in 1071 deprived the Byzantine of central and eastern Anatolia. So far we discussed about the Anatolia in 12th and 13th centuries. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.